As ladies and gentlemen, this is bonus coverage of the JV game. So there's 1 minute 24 seconds left in the JV game. 4-0. Pioneer has controlled the junior varsity contest. Right after this, there'll be a 10-minute warm-up, and then we will have the varsity contest. This team, the varsity team, is 2-1 on the season as they started off. Falling to Woodhaven 3-2. That at Woodhaven. Then they were able to beat Bedford here at Hollway Field 5-1. And then they beat Melvindale at Melvindale 1-0. So that's where we stand. We'll let you enjoy the last 45 seconds here of the junior varsity game. Then we'll play a few messages and hop in to the varsity contest. It's been a good game for the JV squad. They've really kept the play down in the attacking third throughout most of the game. Coming into the 18, there's a shot that just came off the foot, going a little wide to the near side, about 4 feet. As that will do it, the JV contest. Pioneer with the win. Pioneer 4 and Stoney Creek 0. There'll be a 10-minute warm-up break now. We'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, and then we will be right back with your opening kick. You are watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Soccer, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
about to get going here. 2-1 Pioneer on the season. Again, fell in the first game, a tight 3-2 contest. Pioneer got the loss versus Woodhaven. That was at Woodhaven back on the 18th. Then they beat Bedford here 5-1. Solid win versus an SCC red opponent. Then they went on the road to Melvindale High School. That was back on the 24th. And that was a 1-0 win for Pioneer. As we are about to get going, we'll have John on the microphone and we'll turn it over to him in just a moment. And we'll have the starting lineups and the national anthem as the officials walking towards the middle of the field. Tom coming out to talk to them. As the Stoney Creek Cougars versus your Pioneers. Cloudy day. Not quite as humid as it has been the last couple of days, though. It has been a very humid time. Let's turn things over and give you some noise from the field.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ann Arbor Pioneer High School, its athletics department, and its men's soccer program are pleased to welcome the players, coaches, parents, students, alumni, and fans of the Stoney Creek Cougars to today's match against your Ann Arbor Pioneers. Let's meet the participants. First, for Stoney Creek. Number 1, Jay Hahn. Number 25, Miles Morse. Number 2, Moro Villarreal. Number 3, Lucas Elsner. Number 4, Lucas Chung. Number 5, Rogan Stark. Number 6, Endry Gilavata. Number 7, Amin Geldiev. Number 8, Yaya Kandawal. Number 9, Leonardo Nukla. Number 10, Jackson Mel. Number 11, Simeon Koch. Number 12, Charlie Felton. Number 13, Daniel Balabanov. Number 14, Augustus Chung. Number 15, Xander Champine. Number 16, Chris Campbell. Number 17, Liam Duggan. Number 18, Rocco Lukasai. Number 19, Jason Han, excuse me. Number 20, Gavin Wall. Number 21, Drew Peterson. Number 22, Jerry Guadarrama Oliveira. Number 23, Armand Pochard. And number 24, Lucas Doves. The head coach of Stoney Creek, Brian Middlestead, assisted by Jacob Munner and Ron Paradowski. Oh yeah, and now your Pioneers, here they are. Number 0, Oliver Cook. Number 1, Harmon Berkowitz, goalkeeper. Number 3, Alexander Reifler. Number 4, Sora Koss. Number 5, Naveen Owens. Number 6, Owen Jacob. Number 7, Amani Sinwenye. Number 8, Ryan Anderson. Number 9, Jack Van Ryn. Number 10, Elon Seinfeld Chop. Number 11, Rafa Carrillo. Number 12, AJ Karsh. Number 13, Lucas Strickler. Number 14, Patrick Regan. Number 15, Sam Shemke. Number 16, Brendan Moore. Number 17, Ben Porsche. Number 18, Jay Sumko. Number 19, Eric Gomez Ruiz. Number 20, Jonah Halfon. Number 24, Sabi Simwenyi. Number 25, Owen Werner. Number 26, Ethan Miller. Number 27, Jackson McCready. And number 30, Micah Jacobson. The head coach of Pioneer, it's John Sunderman, assisted by Andy Irvine and Jacob Kronberg and Dylan Furlong. The third team on the field today, the officials, Jonathan Reeser, Stephen Zampardo, and the man in the middle, the referee, Stephen Nesofsky. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise now, remove caps, for the playing of the national anthem.
As we're getting ready to go here at Hollway Field, and welcome to our first broadcast from Hollway Field this season. Seems like we were just here with AFC Ann Arbor as they went into July and quick break, and we had the football game last night, the American football game last night. Now for some association football. Pioneer versus Rochester Stoney Creek. The Cougars versus the Pioneers. Pioneer is in their purple kits with the lighter purple sleeves, purple shorts, purple socks. Numbers in white on the front and on the back, and we appreciate that greatly. Stoney Creek is in their white kits. White tops, white shorts, white socks. Numbers dark on both the front and on the back. Goldaev to take things and get us started right in the circle. 40 minutes up on the clock, ready to count down. And we are underway. Ball controlled by Elsner. Over on the near wing, picked up by Stark. Stark rolls it back into his own defensive third. Moved over to Parshaw. Over on the far touchline, sent back into the far corner, moved over there by Lipasai. As that is going to be a corner for Pioneer as it goes out the end line. So Jacob to take the corner. Raises both hands, puts his left foot into it. That popped up high. Headed back up to the top of the 18. Now that cleared all the way back into the middle third. Chipped up by McCready. McCready trying to get it over to Zumko. Strickler trying to play it down. That grab. Here comes Stoney Creek. Down on the near wing, Duggan had it. Duggan moves it back into his own defensive third. Gathered up there by Parsha. And down on the far wing. Stoney Creek controls that, knocked away. Racing back over, Pioneer trying to put some pressure on. Villarreal has it down the near wing, launches it all the way back into the attacking third, trying to come over is Duggan into the 18. That chipped up by Cook. Headed right back towards the 18. Right on the edge as that pulled back. Rifler ends up taking a tumble. And will be offsides. So Rifler will take it just outside the 18. Rifler fires it ahead just over Seinfeld chop, then volleyed the other direction by Stoney Creek. Moved over down on the far wing, trying to get it away. Jacob trying to chip that, and that will be a whistle. Contact. That will lead to a foul and a free kick for Stoney Creek. 0-0 here, 37-37 left to go here in the first. So it looks like Stark back to take the free kick. Stark puts a right foot into it, into the 18, headed up, and that will go through the field goal post and all the way back. That is going to be a goal kick as Cook will grab it. Get it set from the 6, ready to kick away. 0-0 here early on. Ball shortly moved over to Van Ryn. Van Ryn down onto the far wing. Pulled ahead by McCready. Now headed right back the other direction by Stoney Creek. Ball played down, that chip back by Strickler. Over onto the near side of the pitch. Moved ahead, coming up, Anderson. Anderson right down the near touchline, feeds it ahead. Over to Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop cuts towards the center of the pitch. Trying to get himself around Villarreal. Villarreal knocks it down and pulled right back into the middle third. Stolen away by Zumko. Zumko over to Seinfeld Chop. Up the near side of the pitch. There's a cross. Trying to get it all the way over. That ball down. And played on to the far side, trying to pull that away is Strickler. That will go out the far touchline. Ball up the near wing. Controlled by Rifler, gets it back to Cook in the 18. Cook launches it ahead. Played down, Strickler has it. On to the near wing, over for Zumko, back to Strickler. Strickler right at the center line. Trying to knock it away back there is Geldaev. That ball comes right to the near touchline, held in. Good job by Zumko. Zumko gets ahead to Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop, that gets knocked down by a defender. Pulled over by Moore. Sent back and picked up by Anderson. Anderson gets it over to Strickler. Strickler down on that far touchline over for Sabi Simwenya. Ball back. Grabbed by Van Ryn. Van Ryn right over the center line, over to Anderson. Anderson gets that over to Strickler. Strickler back over the center line. That popped up high. Zumko right on the near touchline, trying to feed that through. That'll go off Villarreal. Be a throw-in on the near touchline. Pulled back over Zumko, trying to pull that away. Knocked down by Stark. Stark gets the rush for Stoney Creek. Right up on the middle of the pitch. Pulled back by Cadwell. Sends it back to his defensive pairing, Villarreal. Up the near wing, Villarreal trying to fire it. Rifler chips that. That'll go out the near touchline. That'll be a throw-in for Stoney Creek. 34-22 left to go here in the first. 0-0 is the score. Villarreal with the throw-in on the near touchline. Just inside of the attacking third as he launches that, trying to get it to Geldaev. Ball moved ahead. Villarreal has it. Villarreal cuts down the near wing of the pitch. That popped out by Zumko. That will again be a throw-in for Stoney Creek. Villarreal looks up the pitch. Now lofts it high into the 18. That knocked all the way down and out the end line. That is going to be a corner. Over to take the corner is Duggan, number 17. Duggan is ready for this set piece. Raises both hands. Puts it, that batted back out. Now Seinfeld Chubb trying to send it down the pitch. Ball back into the middle third, battle for it. Seinfeld Chop comes away with it, feeds it all the way down onto the far wing. As bringing it ahead, Sabi Simwinya trying to get it over and with a cross, and that will be grabbed in the 18. As that was Jay Hahn, the keeper for Stoney Creek. Goes out the near touchline. And still 0-0, 32 minutes, 39 seconds left to go here in the first half. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you for watching and supporting these teams. You can't be here. Good crowd on a Saturday afternoon. First Saturday afternoon, or last Saturday afternoon we have before the big house across the way starts getting under action with college football. Villarreal on the near touchline. Right at the center line. A little confusion, Villarreal. Now lofts it high down the near wing. Knocked over. Van Ryan has it. Van Ryan lofts it high in the air. Bounces at the center line, then goes out the far touchline. That'll be a throw-in. As Elsner will launch it in. Right into the defensive third for Pioneer. Van Ryan gets it over to Zumko. Zumko over to Rifler. Rifler loses an edge and goes down. So he was trying to cut, got caught up. That will quick restart for Pioneer. Zumko gets it over to Anderson. Zumko racing down the near touchline into the attacking third. That tipped away. Trying to get it over to Moore, then pulled back by Stoney Creek. So they launch it down the far touchline. That will roll out right at the Pioneer bench. McCready with the throw-in. Tipped off as Strickler and sent ahead. Pulled back towards the center line. Jacob moves it over to Rifler. Rifler over to Zumko. Zumko has that knocked away. Here comes Stoney Creek as Villarreal has it. Puts a cross that popped up in the air. Gotten over by Stark. That will go out the near touchline. Stark with the quick throw-in, trying to keep things moving. Gets it over to Duggan. High up in the air. Racing over is Moore. Moore trying to get it. That pops up, now headed up by Strickler. Volleyed right back to the center line as Sabi Simwinya heads that back. Into the attacking third for Pioneer, trying to play it down. Coming ahead, Strickler. Strickler on the near wing. Back over to Zumko. Zumko has that knocked away. Good defense by Felton. As now Stoney Creek starts, looks to respond, coming down the far side. Champagne. And that'll be a goal kick. 29-27 left to go here in the first half. 0-0. Van Ryn gets it over to McCready. McCready on the far touchline. McCready brings it up the far touchline. McCready lofts it ahead, trying to get it over to Seinfeld. Chop that brought down by Lipasai. And over to Villarreal on the near side of the pitch. Villarreal arcs it forward and knocked the other direction by Van Ryn. Jacob feeds it down onto the far side of the pitch. Grabbed, pulled back by Elsner. Over to Villarreal. Villarreal races into the attacking third. Villarreal puts it and trying to get it over to Condua. But that goes out the end line. That will be a goal kick for Pioneer. 28:33 left to go here in the first half. Van Ryan gets it set for Cook. Looks like Van Ryan might take that. Still scoreless, 0-0 on a cloudy Saturday. Zumko over to Anderson. Anderson moves it ahead. Strickler races towards the center of the pitch. Now lofting it all the way down into the attacking third. Battle for it as Seinfeld Chop trying to get to it and diving down. Jay Hahn able to grab it in the 18 and steal a chance away from Pioneer. Jay Hahn rolls it over on the near wing over to Parshaw. Jay Hahn gets it right to the center line. Whistle. It'll be a foul and a free kick for Stoney Creek. 27:34 left to go. That fired over onto the far wing by Kundawal. Stoney Creek brings it ahead as Elsner moves it over to Duggan. Duggan just outside the 18. That will be deflected and out the end line. So taking the corner for Stoney Creek is Stark, number 5. So Stark in the far corner looking to break the scoreless tie on this set piece. As that batted up and rolls out the end line. That'll be a corner over onto the near corner. That's going to be 17 taking that, so Duggan has it set. Duggan gets himself back, raises both hands, arcs it up high. That headed down. Tracked down, sent on to the near touchline. Controlled there by Duggan. Duggan looking for a cross, punched away by Cook. And Stoney Creek turning on it, trying to fire it away. Jacob trying to knock it back. Ball still controlled by Elsner. Now over to Duggan. Duggan trying to race into the 18. Good defense there to knock it away by Anderson. Now Duggan again looking to feed it. That pulled back away. Here comes Seinfeld Chop, but that poked out the near touchline before Pioneer could start the rush. So Anderson over, played down by Strickler. Strickler back on the defensive side, over to Van Ryan. Van Ryan tries to fire it ahead. That played down. Moved ahead by Shemke. Shemke with the throw-in. Back over to Shemke trying to move it down the near touchline, looking for room for a cross. Shemke gets it over that. Batted away by the defense. Good play back there by Parshaw. Ball towards the center line. Pulled back down Templeton. Trying to fire it ahead. That will get poked out the far touchline. That will be a throw-in for Stoney Creek, it looks like. It's going to be Elsner to throw that in. 24 minutes, 21 seconds left to go here in the first. 0-0 is the score. And right out the far touchline. And we'll continue as Mel will throw it in the far touchline. Now he'll flip that right back over to Elsner. Elsner. Controlled by Stoney Creek, moved over to Felton. Felton Gets it over to Villarreal. Villarreal launches it. That goes out the end line. That'll be a goal kick for Pioneer. So Cook will get it set. Moves it over to Reifler. Reifler comes up the near side of the pitch. Reifler up the near touchline. Now feeds it towards the center of the pitch. Jacob with it there. Jacob back to Reifler on the near touchline. Reifler gets it into the middle third. As that's pulled back over. Regan launches it, or Shumke, launches it. That will be a foul and a kick. Stark with it in the middle third, moves it back over the center line. Fired over to Villarreal on the near wing. Back to Parsha. Stolen away. Here comes Pioneer firing it ahead. Moore trying to get to it, and Jay Hahn able to get there first. Quickly throws it down on the far touchline. Brought ahead by Elsner. All the way back into the attacking third for Stoney Creek. Van Ryan trying to pull that away. Van Ryan spins with it as that's poked out the end line. Newclaw in a battle with Van Ryan. That will be a goal kick. It's last touch Newclaw. 22-13 left to go here in the first. 0-0. Galavrata in. Ball launched ahead, popped up by Stark. Played down, Stark has it, brings it back towards midfield. Now moves it over to Elsner. Sent back, controlled by Stark. Feeds it onto the far touchline. Battle for it there, pulled away. Seinfeld chop, gets it over to Templeton. Templeton moves it ahead as Moore trying to get across. That fed back right onto the middle third, picked up. Now here comes Coke. Fires it deep into the Pioneer defensive third. Now knocked away. Newclaw. It's right on the edge of the 18. Pulled over. That ball back towards center. Pulled away. Here comes Moore. Moore heads towards the center of the pitch. Gets it over to Strickler. Strickler coming ahead with it. Strickler down on the far wing looking for the cross. And that's knocked out the end line. That will be a corner for Pioneer. As it looks like Jacob is going to take that corner. 20 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in the first. 0-0 is the score. Jacob back along the fence. Raises both hands. Puts his left foot into a low line drive. Popped up high. Knocked away. Battle for it is right there was Shemke. Looking for a loose ball, but Jay Hahn would not oblige. Pioneer right again, just outside the 18 in the attacking third. Fired, and there's another save by Jay Hahn. The Stoney Creek keeper has been fantastic, stealing a couple away from Pioneer. 20 minutes left as we're halfway through the first. 0-0 is the score. Shemke trying to keep it in. That goes out the near touchline. Villarreal with the throw-in on the near touchline. Lofts it over the center line. Popped up high now. Reifler trying to head it over towards the center of the pitch. Jacob pops that up. Fired by McCready right over the center line. Gets it over to Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop over to Strickland. Strickler gets it over onto the far touchline. Fired ahead by Templeton. Shemke right on the near touchline and couldn't quite keep it in. That will be a throw-in by Villarreal. 0-0 is the score. 19-15 left to go here in the first. The ball right over the center line, back onto the Pioneer side of the middle third, controlled there by Van Ryan. Van Ryan launches it, volleys it all the way back ahead. Battle for it. Villarreal has it for Stoney Creek. And knocked down by Newclaw. Well, that will be sent back down on the near touchline and out the near touchline. So Regan comes in for Pioneer. Shemke will throw it in. Shemke with the throw in on the near touchline. Gets that over to Halflin. Back over to Shemke. Shemke makes his way down the near touchline. Shemke gets it over to Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop trying to get it right back over to Shemke. Shemke looking to get across. That tipped right out the near touchline. Should stay a throw-in for Pioneer. 18:09 left to go here in the first. 0-0 the score. Shemke lofts it towards the end line. That popped up high by the Stoney Creek defense. That'll go right back out the near touchline. Another throw-in for Shemke. Shemke about halfway into the attacking third. Lofts it down towards the top of the 18. Regan moves it back over to Jacob. Jacob fires it down onto the far wing. Trying to spin with it. Templeton fires it. That will go out the end line. And that will be a goal kick for Jay Hahn. Jay Hahn steps back. Looks to boot this one away. Puts a right foot into it. Arcing right towards the center line. Now headed ahead, knocked away by Reifler. Right over a Stoney Creek player. Here comes Strickler. Strickler into the attacking third. Strickler gets it moved over to Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop trying to get it over to Villarreal. Villarreal trying to move it towards midfield. Played back by Van Ryn. Van Ryn now makes his way over the center line. Van Ryn working down the near side of the pitch. Van Ryn trying to dribble past a pair of defenders. That knocked away by Villarreal, but right over to Seinfeld Chop. Played back over by Regan. Regan moves it down over to Jacob. Jacob up the far side of the pitch. Jacob into the attacking third, right on that far touchline. Now Templeton feeds it over to Jacob. Jacob looking for a cross, but offsides the call. So Jay Hahn will get it set right at the spot of the infraction. He'll get back. 16:07 left to go here in the first. 0-0 the score. Lofted down as Jay Hahn with some power gets it right over the center line. Regan has it. Regan gets it back over to Van Ryn. Van Ryn trying to dribble out of trouble up the center of the pitch. Strickler with it. Strickler. It's over the center line, down on the near touchline. Here comes Shemke. Shemke arcs it into the attacking third, playing it off the body back there. Was Seinfeld Chop now. Played back over to Jacob. Jacob on the far wing. Jacob gets it over to Templeton. Templeton arcs it into the 18 and grabbed by Jay Hahn. Ball up the near side of the pitch. Good job by Shemke to really have a lot of effort to go and grab that as he battles, gets it over to Reifler. Reifler moves it ahead. Here comes Strickler right on the near touchline. Strickler gets it, trying to get it back to Reifler. That knocked out by Nuclaw. That will be a throw-in.
First for Stoney Creek. Number 7, Amin Gelbiak. Number 12, Charlie Felton. Number 16, Chris Campbell. Number 17, Liam Duggan. And number 21, Drew Peterson.
Large number of substitutions coming in now, as it's 14:44 left to go here in the first. So Karsh trying to get to it. That popped back. Played down. That grabbed out the near touchline. That'll be a whistle, and they'll say he has to move 5 yards back before the throw-in. So Shemke will get himself moved back on the near touchline. 14:15 left to go here in the first half. 0-0 the score. Played down by Regan. Shemke. And back over to Reifler. Reifler gets it back to Van Ryn. Van Ryn all the way back in the 18 for Cook. Cook Moves it over onto the far side of the pitch. That brought ahead by McCready. McCready arcs it all the way down, trying to get it over to Karsh. Karsh battles with it on the far touchline, feeds it all the way back, deep into the attacking third, but that pulled back the other direction and fired ahead by Pasha. Pioneer controls top of the attacking third as that is moved over by Porsche. Shemke gets it over to Regan and a shot, and that grab by Jay Hahn. 13:20 left to go here in the first. 0-0 is our score. Jay Hahn rolls it on to the far touchline over to Condual. Out the far touchline, quickly with the throw in McCready, trying to keep tempo and pressure on this Stoney Creek team. Porsche feeds it back, and that deflected right into the Stoney Creek bench. Last touch by Pioneer. That'll be a throw in back there by Elstner. Elstner gets right in front of his own bench as he will throw it in, trying to arc it down the pitch. Grabbed by Strickler. Strickler over to Porsche. Porsche moves it back to McCready. McCready racing up the far touchline, trying to feed it ahead to Karsh, and that deflected out the far touchline. Quick throw in by Elstner. And to get right past the center line, Regan with it. Regan over to Jacob. Jacob gets tied up, tripped up. He'll go down. It'll be an infraction and a free kick for Pioneer. As putting the right foot into it, McCready. McCready. Volleyed all the way back by Elstner. Into the defensive third for Pioneer. Chased down. Moved over to Cook in his own 18. He will loft that, and that will go on the far side of the pitch. Headed ahead by Jacob, and that will go right over to the coaching staff for Pioneer. Out the far touchline. 11 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. 0-0 is the score. Karsh trying to get to it. Seinfeld Chop trying to move it over. That's stolen away. Here comes Felton. Felton has it knocked back by Shemke. Shemke gets it over to Jacob. Jacob trying to feed it ahead to Strickler, and that goes out the near touchline. That'll be a throw-in for Stoney Creek.
Stoney Creek substitution. Number 15, Vander Champon.
As Campbell has it on the near touchline, Campbell. Trying to move it over to Duggan. That ball, trying to grab it is Jacob for Pioneer. Jacob, center of the pitch. Jacob moves back towards the blockades. Over to Van Ryn. Van Ryn over to Rifler. Rifler up the near wing. Gets it over to Strickler. Strickler back to Rifler on the near touchline. Rifler trying to get it into the attacking third. Back over to Strickler. Strickler. Centers it up, gets it over to Jacob. Jacob arcs a pass ahead, that headed back over by Campbell. Lofted down, Pioneer trying to battle for it just inside the middle third. That fired right out the far touchline. Throw in for Pioneer as Porsche has it on the far touchline. 10 minutes left to go as we're 3/4 of the way through the first half. 0-0 is the score. Armani Simwanye comes in. The ball into the far corner. Cross, that knocked away by Stoney Creek. Fired right out the far touchline. That'll be another throw-in for Pioneer. It's a good way into the attacking third as McCready has it. McCready gets it over to Moore. Moore looking for a cross. Moore fires it into the 18, and that comes over. Trying to pull that away, Amani Simwinye. Trying to get it back and fire it in. That goes out the near touchline. Campbell with it there. Campbell lofts it towards midfield. Jacob has it right at the center line. Gets it moved over to McCready. McCready feeds it ahead. That grab by Felton. and sent right back deep into the defensive third for Pioneer, but goes out the far touchline. 8 minutes, 50 seconds left to go here in the first. 0-0 is our score. Throw in by Pioneer as McCready throws it in, trying to get it towards the center line. That batted right back, now fired ahead by Elsner. Pioneer intercepts as Moore trying to feed it down the pitch. That goes out the far touchline. That will be a Pioneer throw-in. McCready comes over on that far touchline to handle the throw-in duties. He lofts it ahead. Now here comes Moore. That knocked away and out the far touchline. Throw in by Stoney Creek. Played down by Geldev. Again, right out the far touchline. Another throw in for Elsner. Elsner bounces that ball. Now waits for everyone to get set. Elsner. That tapped back. Regan trying to steal it away over to McCready. McCready gets it ahead. That tip by Moore. Moore over to Karsh. Karsh sends it back to Regan. Regan working his way across the center of the pitch. Now over to Amani Simwenya. Over to Regan. Regan with a shot and a save! As diving Jay Hahn knocks it and it goes out the end line. That will be a corner for Pioneer. It's a good shot by Regan through traffic, and Jay Hahn had to make yet another save. Porsche with the corner. Porsche gets set. Raises both hands. Puts his right foot into it. That knocked away by the Stoney Creek defense. Regan trying to send it to the center of the pitch. Jacob has it. Jacob with the shot again. Knocked away by Jay Hahn. Diving and batting it with both the hands. That is going to be another corner for Pioneer. Porsche gets it set. 6:19 left to go here in the first. 0-0 the score. Porsche raises both hands, arcs it high. That goes to the far side and ahead, just to the far side of the post. Good opportunity back there by Van Ryan. And the header just couldn't find its way in the net. Stark back in for Stoney Creek. So we're under 6 minutes left here in the first. Jay Hahn kicks it away with the right foot. Arcs right towards the center line. Jacob heads it up, but a whistle. Contact. That is going to be a free kick. They're going to move it back about 8 yards on the Stoney Creek side of midfield. Elsner. And rocket blast into the far side of the pitch in the attacking third. That'll go right out the far touchline, right in front of the Pioneer bench. Elsner. And launches it into the attacking third. Played down over there by Geladaev. Back. Played down now by Parshall. Parshall on the near touchline. Over to Campbell. Campbell trying to work his way through traffic. Sends it down the near touchline. And a race over Armani Simwenya. Playing some good defense, and that turns into a goal kick for Pioneer. So Armani Simwenya doing an excellent job. Goal kick by Cook. Gets it over to McCready. McCready on that far touchline, arcs it ahead. Controlled right back to Anderson. Now brought ahead Zumko. Moved over by Moore, over to Regan. Regan gets it back to Moore. Moore over midfield, sends it down the far touchline, over to Seinfeld. Chop! And just knocked the other direction by Stoney Creek. Bringing it back the other way is Duggan. Volleyed all the way back into the defensive third for Pioneer. Van Ryn moves it over to Cook. Cook gets it over to Reifler, trying to avoid pressure. Reifler trying to move it over, stolen away into the 18. That grab by Cook for Pioneer. 3:45 left to go here in the first. 0-0 the score. That ball high, arcing kick over to Moore. Moore has that tipped away. But a whistle and a free kick for Pioneer. Here, 3:30 left to go. Ball set right at midfield. McCready will launch this one away. McCready puts the right foot into it. That headed out just at the top of the 18. Moved over to Reifler. Reifler coming up the near side of the pitch. Reifler trying to dribble through. Nice nutmeg, and that knocked the other direction. Played down by Regan. Regan fires it towards the center. Moore trying to get to it, but that launched right back towards midfield. Well, knocked the other direction by Van Ryn. Popped up high. Strickler plays it off the body. Strickler gets it back over to Van Ryn. Van Ryn, again, protects the ball with his body, trying to get it over to Amani Simwinye. That is going to be an infraction. Free kick. Quick restart by Stoney Creek. Is trying to move it on the near touchline over to Stark. A little miscommunication. That'll be a throw-in for Pioneer. So Reifler with the throw-in. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. Nil the score. Reifler trying to get it. That's right over Ruiz's head. Played back over Anderson. Trying to get it over on the far side of the pitch. That goes out the far touchline. Zumko with a quick throw-in, trying to make the most out of this remaining 1 minute 50 seconds as that again goes out the far touchline. Anderson with it there. 0-0 the score. Pioneer would love to get one right before halftime as Moore turns on it. Moore trying to work his way through traffic, trying to get to the 18. That knocked away by Elsner. And we'll go out the far touchline. Another throw-in for Pioneer. Oh, nope, that'll be for Stoney Creek. So they launched that ahead. McCready trying to steal that away. And that brought ahead by Dugan. Knocked away. Here comes Pioneer. As Moore has it just in the arc at the top of the 18. That batted all the way back. Van Ryn pops it up. As that ball down on the far touchline, launched right back into the defensive third for Pioneer. As Cook will launch it ahead. Arcing it high, trying to get it Anderson. Right to the center line as we have less than a minute left. Trying to play it down. Good job by Armani Simwinye to knock that back away. Pull back over. Zumko gets it over to Gomez Ruiz. Moore has it. Moore trying to fire it, trying to get it over to Seinfeld shot, but that knocked away back there over by Parshall. Ball takes a funny bounce, goes all the way back into the defensive third. Cook has it. Cook launches it ahead. 25 seconds left to go. Headed towards midfield. Played down by Anderson. Pulled away by Stark as Stark trying to race ahead to grab that. The ball right on the near touchline. Play back over Reifler trying to get to it, but a whistle. As we are now at halftime. So 0-0 is the score at halftime. As we will take a 10-minute halftime and be back. We will actually play the This Week in High School Sports by the MHSAA right now.
Welcome to the 2023-24 school year, and welcome back to This Week in High School Sports. We'll be with you for the next 26 weeks, getting you caught up on the biggest stories from across the state in the high school sports world. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. The start of a new year brings a lot of questions, especially for the families of freshmen or students starting their first year of high school in Michigan. Who plays who? What was the score of last night's game? What are people talking about? Just what is going on here? Well, there's an easy way to find out the answers to all of those questions and more. Make sure you check out MHSAA.com. The site was redesigned a year ago, and now MHSAA.com sees over 10 million visits annually. It's the best place to go if you're looking for a score, a schedule, a story, NPR rankings, and more. Plus, it's been optimized for mobile use, which makes submitting scores on a Friday even easier. Looking to connect on social? We have you covered there as well. The MHSAA's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, X accounts are all updated throughout the week with important news for everyone involved in high school sports. Follow us and stay current with all the happenings from around the state. The first week of action is in the books, and with that brings us our first game balls of the year. Pinckney's Evan Loftright started the cross-country season out with a win. The senior was first in a dual meet with Brighton, but Brighton came out victorious on the team side. Ellie Wilcox helped lead Boyne City to a Pelston Invite volleyball title. The Ramblers were perfect on the day, winning all 6 matches and 12 sets they played in. And to Muskegon Reese Puffer senior Liam Smith, he poured in 4 goals in an 8-0 season-opening soccer win over Ludington.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement. 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov. Achievement, the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with the MHSAA's Director of Officiating Services, Sam Davis.
The first week of high school football season is always exciting and sometimes confusing. Here are some, not all of the differences between the high school game and what you see on Saturdays and Sunday. In high school, there's no such thing as an uncatchable ball when judging pass interference. It is a penalty if there is illegal contact, whether the ball is catchable or not. In overtime, high school teams start with the ball on the 10-yard line, not the 25 like in college. And in high school overtime, you're only able to get a first down by a penalty. And at no time is a high school team required to go for 2 points. And on extra point plays, if the defense gains possession, the try is over. The defense cannot return the ball for 2 points.
Thanks, Sam. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, go to the MHSAA website now to register. All summer long, MHSAA.com has highlighted former high school standouts who have used past athletic experiences to help shape their post-high school lives. The series is called Made in Michigan and provides updates on some familiar names. Like Brent Gates, the current baseball coach at Grand Rapids Christian, was a 2-time All-State selection on the diamond at Granville. He played at the University of Minnesota before the major leagues and now has led the Eagles to 3 baseball state titles. Or Ariel Breaker, the current assistant basketball coach at the University of Minnesota. She helped Grosse Pointe North win a Class A state title in 2008. A 3-sport athlete at GPN, she finished 3rd for the 2010 Miss Basketball Award, and she played collegiately at Notre Dame before coaching at Lehigh, Oakland, South Dakota, and West Virginia, and now with the Gophers. To get caught up on all the Made in Michigan stories, check out MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we are coming back from halftime, 0-0 is the score here at Hollway Field. 2-1. Pioneer looking to get it to 3-1. I don't have Stoney Creek's record. They didn't have anything out on the athletic website as far as their schedule goes. 40 minutes up on the clock, and we're getting ready. Moore looking to kick off as the sun breaks through behind the press box. Some of the clouds are blowing away. We are ready to get going. Here comes, as soon as the officials blow the whistle. And we are underway. That ball launched over to Sabi Simwinya. Sabi Simwinya. That brought ahead by Gomez Ruiz. I'll go out the near touchline. Gomez Ruiz gets it over. Seinfeld chop over to Jacob. That knocked away down on the far touchline. Launched into the 18. And that grab back there is they've now had Morse in the net. I believe it was Jahan on the other half, but now Morse out there. So Villarreal has it. Kind of surprising as Jahan played out of his mind in the first half. He was very, very good. Now maybe Morse is even better. You don't know. Villarreal with the throw-in on the far touchline. As that out the far touchline, Stoney Creek with the throw-in. Or no, that's going to continue to be Pioneer. Zumko gets it over. Moore trying to work his way through traffic. And back over to Zumko. Zumko has it knocked back away by Parshaw. Ball played down. Stoney Creek with it in their own defensive third. Seinfeld chop trying to provide pressure. That right at the center line. Jacob trying to get to it. Knocked away down that far touchline. Sliding. Reifler dispossesses his man. Reifler ends up going down to the turf, and there is an injured Stoney Creek player that's slow to get up. That is Newclaw, who is in some pain down on the sideline. We hope that he'll be all right. We don't want to see any of these fantastic athletes injured. Ball set for a free kick. Reifler has it just inside the far touchline. About 15 yards on Pioneer's side of the center line. 37:55 left to go here. In the second half, 0-0 is our score from Hollway Field. Pioneer and Stoney Creek. Reifler arcs it ahead. That headed up by Gomez Ruiz. Now volleyed the other direction by Stoney Creek. Zumko trying to get to it with the cross into the 18. That headed away by Lipasai. Right on the far touchline, pulled ahead. Here comes Reifler. Reifler looking for a cross. That knocked away by Villarreal. Now controlled by Duggan. Out the far touchline. Throw in by Pioneer. Inside the attacking third, Seinfeld Chop trying to turn on it. That knocked out the far touchline by Villarreal again. Zumko with the throw-in. Zumko over to Seinfeld Chop, back to Zumko. Zumko heads up the pitch. As whistle there. As that is going to be a kick. Offsides by Pioneer. Stoney Creek will kick it away. As Morse has it. Just inside the far touchline as he will rainbow that down the pitch. Played down by Stoney Creek. As they head over the middle right into the attacking third. Plucked up. Grabbed by Bergquist. As both teams switching keepers at halftime. Going to move it ahead. Anderson trying to get that pulled away by Stark. Stark trying to feed that ahead as Koch puts it in and Bergquist grabs it. Bergquist. Motioning for everyone to move down the pitch. 35 minutes, 55 seconds left to go here in the second. Scoreless so far. Jacob chips it over onto the far wing. Brought ahead by Zumko. Now Gomez Ruiz had it. That knocked away, but a whistle. That will be a kick by Stoney Creek just inside of their own defensive third. Moved over by Elsner. Elsner up the near touchline. Then knocked away by Anderson. Anderson over to Gomez Ruiz. Gomez Ruiz arcs it, trying to get it over to Seinfeld Chop. He can't quite corral it off of the body. That fired ahead the opposite direction. Stolen away by Reifler. Now volleyed back the other direction. Deep Van Ryan trying to get it on that far touchline. Poked away. Here comes Stark. Stark looking for a cross. Stark into the 18. Great job to knock it away by Sabi Warner. Perfect. Awesome. So Stoney Creek 1-3 on the season as they lost to Anchor Bay 2-1, lost to Rochester Adams 2-0, and lost to Chippewa Valley 2-1. They beat Grosse Pointe North 4-0. Then knocked up ahead, played down, trying to get to it. Seinfeld chop that goes out the far touchline. Zumko with it there. 34-20 left to go here in the second half. 0-0 the score. Strickler back in. Zumko working his way down the far touchline over the center line. That played back over. Here comes McCready. McCready ahead, and that goes right out the near touchline. Sabi Simwinya with the throw-in. Grabbed. Seinfeld chopped, trying to move it back over. Anderson gets it to Jacob. Jacob up the far wing. Jacob into the attacking third. Jacob races down the far touchline. Zumko trying to get the cross. That knocked off of Villarreal. That is going to be Jacob with the corner for Pioneer. Pioneer looking to break the tie on this set piece. Both hands raised. That fired. Zumko deflects it towards the goal, but that plucked up by Morse. Morse comes to the edge of the 18 and drop kicks it all the way towards center. Played down, and that grabbed by McCready. McCready launches it into the attacking third, right on the far touchline. That head out the far touchline. That will be a throw-in for Pioneer. As Karsh has to go chasing it as it tried to make his way back behind the visiting stands. Templeton back in for Pioneer. Reifler with the throw-in, that into the 18, down and grabbing it is Morse. 32:09 left to go here in the second. 0-0 is the score. That ball tipped right over to Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop moves it over to Strickler. Strickler goes down to the pitch as he got caught up. Parshall's foot got in the way. That will be a free kick for Pioneer. This isn't a definite place of danger as a good opportunity for Pioneer. It's less than 10 yards outside of the 18, or just about 10 yards north of the 18. So well into the attacking third. Spot for this set piece. Strickler steps back. Four-person wall for Stoney Creek. Strickler with the right foot fires, and that tipped over is Morse. got his fingers on it. That will be a corner for Pioneer, as it was a good shot, but good positioning by Morris, able to keep that from going in. Jacob on the corner. Jacob gets back, raises both hands. Right foot into it as that goes across the 18. Batted up by Morris and knocked away, headed out by one of the defenders. So I believe that was Mel who headed it. But they're going to say, I think, that went in. So Pioneer scores it as it crossed the goal line. There was a battle for it, and it looked like one of the defenders was able to head it out, but it had crossed the goal line. I think it might have been Strickler, but we're not positive as to who got the goal. It was kind of a bit of chaos, and it's hard when you're not sure when it goes over. But 1-0 Pioneer as they take the lead, and we will take that. That ball down the far touchline, controlled by Pioneer. As working his way, Zumko has it on that far touchline into the attacking third, using his body to try and get around. Pressure back there by Koch. Now, Stoney Creek firing it the other direction. Collision. That is going to be a free kick on a Pioneer foul. So move that back, and Stark will kick it away for Stoney Creek. 29 minutes, 52 seconds left to go. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead, Stoney Creek. Looking to kick that away. Ball controlled, trying to knock it away. Pioneer, Stoney Creek fires it into the attacking third. Trying to turn on it back there is Duggan. Ball comes back right to the center line. Elsner has it. Elsner gets it over to Conduel. Conduel, then knocked away by Pioneer. Seinfeld chop. Moves it back over. Now controlled by Strickler. Strickler up the near wing and moves it over. Trying to get to Templeton, and Templeton didn't realize it was coming his way. Just a little miscommunication out the near touchline. Elsner has it. Gets it over to Conduel. Ball controlled back on the defensive side as Gauderama Oliveira fires it ahead. Pioneer takes it right at the center line. Knocked down by Conduel. Ball right at the center line. Stark feeds it down the far touchline. Then chipped the other direction, trying to work his way through was Van Ryan, but that out the far touchline. Campbell to throw it in. So Campbell with the throw in on the far touchline. He lofts it ahead. That headed up back there by Duggan. Played down. Lofted over. Battle for it on the far touchline. Trying to knock it ahead. Pioneer Jacob. That is going to be a throw in for Pioneer. Reifler goes over to the far touchline. 27:55 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Reifler on that far touch line. Is there going to be another there might be an issue with the ball as they find one of the balls. Maybe that one had a little lack of pressure. And moved over. Anderson with it. Anderson puts it on the far touchline for Templeton. Templeton trying to turn on it. Templeton puts it down the near touchline. Over to Strickler. Strickler. Over to Anderson. Anderson with the cross. That fired in. Move just over. Good opportunity on a cross. Knocked down, and that will go right back out into the middle third. Koch trying to feed it back. Gets it back over to Campbell. Campbell has that stolen away by Jacob. Jacob ahead to Seinfeld. Chop with a shot and a grab by Morse. as both of the keepers for Stoney Creek have had a fair amount of work. Pioneer has kept them busy. That ball will be down on the near touch line. Battle for it, headed ahead by Peterson. Out the near touch line. That'll be a throw in for Pioneer. McCready with it. McCready launches it. That knocked right out the near touch line by Galavetta. Throw in by McCready. And out the near touch line, knocked out by Elsner. McCready again grabs it. Launches it down. Seinfeld chop. Plays it over to Morris. That headed by Strickler, but that'll go out the end line. That'll be a goal kick. Geldiev comes in for Strickler, or for Stoney Creek. 25 minutes, 55 seconds left to go here in the second. And launched all the way down, headed the other direction, back into the 18, and grabbed by Morse. Played back ahead over to Kundawell. Down right on the far touch line. Stoney Creek gets it right over the center line, over ahead to Koch. Koch brings it back up the pitch, moves it over to Kundawell. Kundawell has that stolen away. Here comes Reifler. Reifler rolls it over. That chipped ahead by Strickler, knocked down by Campbell. Campbell gets it over to Kundawell. Knocked back by Zumko. Back onto the defensive side is Parshall. Trying to get it out of the defensive third. Moves it over to Elsner. Elsner on the near touchline. Stoney Creek rockets it down. Knocked the other direction. Over by McCready. Strickler. Back over to Templeton. Gets it over to Anderson. More trying to get to it as Seinfeld Chop tried to redirect it over to Strickler, and the ball wouldn't settle down. All the way back as Reifler gets it over to McCready just inside the middle third. Pioneer feeds it all the way back into the attacking third. That batted up. Trying to move it over was Moore. That ball down on the far touchline. Now sent high. Headed back over by Parshall. Now racing down the near side, Elsner with it. Elsner gets it over to Peterson. Peterson back over to Elsner, up the near touch line, and Anderson trying to dispossess him. It goes out the near touch line. That is going to be a throw-in for Stoney Creek. 23:47 left to go here. 2-1 Pioneer versus 1-3 Stoney Creek. Throw in by Stark. Knocked away. Fired right towards midfield. Seinfeld chop. Gets it back over to Strickler. Strickler ahead, racing over, trying to get it. Ball down the far side of the pitch. Stolen away by Campbell. Campbell gets it back on that far touchline. Campbell trying to fire it down the pitch. That rocketed off one of the Pioneer players. That went right off of Jacob. Out the far touchline. Throw in Stoney Creek has it again. That batted off. Pioneer player. That will be a throw in by Campbell on that far touchline. We're on the Pioneer side of midfield. Played back. Reifler moves it into the 18. As that fired out by Bergquist. Go out the far touchline. 22 minutes, 28 seconds left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Reifler has the ball deep in his own defensive third. That ball out. So Miller now in for Pioneer. That'll be a throw in by Campbell again. Just a yard on the Pioneer side of midfield. Campbell trying to get it into the attacking third. Reifler knocks it down the other direction. Anderson trying to get to it. Now stolen away by Strickler. Strickler moves it back into the 18. Berquist. High arcing kick. That grab by Stoney Creek. Knocked away by Templeton. Templeton gets it over to Moore. Moore, center of the pitch. Moore feeds it onto the far wing, bringing it ahead. Trying to pull that away. Miller had it. Now stolen away by Campbell. Campbell down the far touchline. He ends up getting his feet caught up with Moore. He goes down to the pitch, and that will be a foul and a free kick for Stoney Creek. We approach the 21-minute mark. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Stoney Creek looking to get the game level. Pioneer would love to get an insurance goal here. All about 10 yards on the Pioneer side of midfield. Stark arcs it into the 18, knocked down by Strickler, controlled. Back over there by Galavetta. Right back into the 18, Moore. Fires it ahead. Seinfeld Chop gets it over to Moore. Back to Seinfeld Chop. Moore ended up on the pitch. That will be a free kick for Pioneer. 20 minutes, 22 seconds left to go. Joined on air here by a Hornet, which needs to go back over to Celine. We'll move that away. So we occasionally get the insect life wanting to join the broadcast. And pulled ahead, moved over, tipped back on to Templeton on the near touchline. Templeton over to Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop making his way, fires it into the 18, and that grabbed. As racing over to grab it is Morse. Now ball loose, as that is going to be a foul. Jacob went down to the pitch. This is again going to be in a place of menace, as it's about 7 yards north of the 18. They'll move it back a little bit. Again, they'll get it back about 8 yards, 9 yards north of the 18. Pioneer has a trio set to come in. Jacob back to kick it. Four-person wall by Stoney Creek, and that one goes right through the uprights. That will be a goal kick. 18:39 left to go. As Regan comes in, Gomez Ruiz comes in, and Karsh comes in for Pioneer. Goal kick by Stoney Creek. 18:11 left to go here in the second. Ball back on the Pioneer side of the middle third. Launched ahead right to the center line. Now Stark has to pass, stolen away. Pioneer feeds it ahead to Karsh. Karsh on the near touchline. Karsh trying to get it back over to Strickler. Taken away by Stoney Creek. Coming the other way is Duggan. All the way down on the far touchline. That'll sneak out that far touchline. As Galadaev trying to control it, but it goes out. Pioneer with the throw-in. Reifler right in front of the Stoney Creek bench. Reifler. As that tipped off of Gomez Ruiz. That will be a throw-in by Stoney Creek as Campbell will have it. Campbell. On the Pioneer side of the middle third. Getting it, trying to move over. Knocked away into the 18. Berquist. Launches it down the pitch, down the far touchline. That will roll all the way towards the corner and out the far touchline. Boy, that kick went well down the pitch, giving Pioneer an opportunity to try and catch up with it, but they just couldn't do it. Campbell to throw in. Deep in his own defensive third on the far touchline. Villarreal back in. Campbell with the throw-in. As that's tipped ahead by Miller. Now Campbell again arcs it down the pitch. Laying it down there is Jasing Hung. Back, knocked the other direction by Pioneer. Parshaw with it. Parshaw trying to get it over to Campbell. Campbell bringing it up the far side of the pitch. Campbell again hits the turf. That goes out the far touchline. That will be a throw-in. Campbell with it. Campbell launches it into the attacking third for Stoney Creek, headed out the other direction by Van Ryan. Jacob trying to get it over to Strickler, stolen away. As here comes Elsner. Elsner back over to Villarreal. Villarreal into the 18. And good job by the Pioneer defense to come back and get in the way. As Villarreal looked like he had a one-on-one battle with the goalkeeper. Back over. Here comes Gomez Ruiz. Gomez Ruiz racing up the center of the pitch, gets into the attacking third. Gomez Ruiz makes his way through traffic, coming onto the near side of the pitch. Gets it back over to Templeton. Templeton down the near touchline. Gets it over to Karsh. Tipped right on the near touchline. Somehow managing to keep it in was Duggan. Duggan trying to move it back. Now Templeton ends up getting his foot tangled up and goes down to the pitch. As little pats on the back between Duggan and Templeton. Good sportsmanship. We love to see that. 14:44 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. McCready to kick it away. Just inside the attacking third, inside the near touchline. McCready arcs it into the 18. Headed over. Now Templeton with the shot, and he just couldn't keep it down as he threw that right foot out to catch it, and it deflected out for a goal kick. Anderson, Porsche, and Zumko in for Pioneer. Shemke, excuse me. And up towards the center of the pitch. Knocked down on the near wing, stolen away. As Elsner brings it up the near wing. Elsner launches it. That headed back by Reifler. Gets it over to Anderson. Anderson down on the far wing. Brought ahead. Right on the far touchline. Karsh arcs it. Now racing over. Shemke trying to get to it. Shemke, that goes out the end line. That will be a goal kick for Stoney Creek. 13:15 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Stoney Creek looking for the equalizer. Pioneer looking for the insurance goal. That comes back, chipped up by Anderson. Moved over onto the near touchline. That will go out the near touchline, and that should be a throw-in for Pioneer. McCready comes over to do the right on the near touchline. McCready lofts it in over to Karsh and trying to feed it over to Shemke. That just off of his foot out the near touchline. That'll be a throw-in by Elsner. Elsner arcs it ahead. That bounces. Trying to get it is Van Ryan, and a whistle. And two more subs looking to come in for Stoney Creek. That will be brought back as Duggan has the free kick just 1 yard over the center line. Snap back over to Dougs. Ball controlled. Back over to Lipsai. Now launched by Morse, and that will go out the near touchline. Quickly, Pioneer keeping tempo as Shemke gets it centered up. Here comes Anderson. Anderson launches it into the 18, and that just over the crossbar of the field goal post. That will be a goal kick. 11:30 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Morse. To boot that away, that ball. Picking it up, Shemke puts it over onto the far wing. Brought ahead by Porsche. Porsche trying to chip it over to Strickler. Strickler trying to arc it. That back over as Gomez Ruiz has it now. Shemke on the near wing. Shemke trying to dribble into the 18. Shemke across the top of the 18. That deflected as Campbell now has it for Stoney Creek, and that will go out the far touchline off of Campbell. So quick throw in for Pioneer. Anderson on that far touchline. Anderson arcs it up high. That headed back the other direction by Duggs. 10:39 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. Reifler moves it ahead, and that will go out the end line. Goal kick for Stoney Creek. As we work our way to the 10-minute mark, Morse back to kick it away, puts his right foot into it, kind of a lower line drive kick. And that will be a whistle as Gomez Ruiz looking to kick it and contact and a foul. That will be a free kick about 5 yards inside the attacking third. Anderson back to kick this away. It's three-person wall for Stoney Creek. 7:35 left to go as that short kick over launched, and oh, what a good shot at Morse. Able to knock it away as Regan had a beautiful shot, and if not for the hand of Morse, would have made it 2-0. So now we have a corner as Porsche to take the corner. Raises both hands, puts the right foot into it over the 18. Headed up by Carson. That goes out the end line. That will be a goal kick for Morse and Stoney Creek. Champagne and Felton in for Stoney Creek. Jacob back in for Pioneer. 8:35 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead. That ball back on the near wing, trying to pull it back away is Villarreal. That is going to be a restart. Free kick for Stoney Creek. They move it over onto the far wing, fed ahead by Duggs. And played down by Anderson. Plucked away by Stoney Creek, and that is going to be a foul on Pioneer. As racing over to try and get it, Shemke gets booked. And he went to slide and knock it away and ended up making contact. Seinfeld, Chop, and Moore back in for Pioneer. 7:55 left to go. Stoney Creek launches it. That played off the body by Anderson. Moore trying to get it down on the near wing. Stolen away by Villarreal. Villarreal gets it over to Stark. Stark Arcs it ahead, and that is offsides, about 10 yards inside the attacking third. That is going to be a kick by Pioneer, free kick with 7:30 left to go. Van Ryan set to kick it away. As Lance launched down the pitch into the attacking third. Race forward, and that will find its way all the way out the end line. That will be a goal kick for Stoney Creek. As Morris gets it set to boot it away. And low line drive kick. Controlled now. Stoney Creek lofts it deep into. That popped up, played down by McCready. That launched, but that got knocked off of one of the Stoney Creek players, as that was Koch, who took the ball off the side. Now trying to fire it ahead. Stark trying to get it over to Koch. But that's sent right back into the defensive third for Stoney Creek. Seinfeld Chop trying to provide pressure. Villarreal has it right over the center line. Now Elsner trying to get it away, but pressure by Anderson making it difficult. Elsner able to keep it. No, not able to keep it in. That will be that is going to be a foul and a free kick. Or is it going to be? Yeah, it's going to be a free kick right on the near touchline. 5:50 left to go. Stoney Creek controls back on their own defensive third. They've lofted ahead. That goes out the near touchline. Quick throw in by Templeton. Played down by Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop controls back over to Templeton on the near touchline. Templeton puts it towards the center of the pitch. That knocked away. Trying to get to it was Strickler. Now Reifler has it on the far touchline. Reifler comes back on his own side of midfield. Gets it ahead to Seinfeld Chop. Seinfeld Chop spinning with it. Trying to keep pressure away. Puts it on the far touchline. Porsche with it there. Porsche chips it into the 18. That batted back. Loose on the top of the 18. Porsche had it. Now that pulled away by Elsner. Elsner gets the rush coming the other direction. Is here comes Duggan. Duggan, center of the pitch into the attacking third. Duggan trying to make his way past traffic as that ball will go over and it hit the flag. That is going to be a corner as Stark to take the corner. 4:35 left to go. Huge set piece here for Stoney Creek. There's a Pioneer player down in the 18. I believe that's Anderson, but I'm not positive. As it is quite a muggy day out. Not quite as humid as the last couple of days. It has been like swimming through the air the last several days, but it is indeed a little more humid than you might expect as they work on the player. Trainers will take a look. Well, the new scoreboard, the back is almost back in place over at the big house. It was missing that big Maze M out in the distance after they tore it down as we were broadcasting AFC Ann Arbor. It's nice to have it back. They get everything set and ready for next week as they've had some high school games there the last couple days. Battle of the Big House. I think that's what's going on right now. As we can see, there's something on the video board over there. I know Huron played. So Pioneer player is up and making his way off. I believe, again, indeed, that was Anderson. So Cossin for Strickler, Carrillo, and Koss in for Pioneer. Stark with the corner. Big set piece here for Stoney Creek. looking to get things level. Pioneer wants to hold on, and they'd love to get the counter going after this. Up into the 18, headed back. Nice move by Pioneer. Launched and just to the near side of the post. Good chance by Villarreal. He has played a good game for Stoney Creek, but that one just a couple feet to the near side of the near post. Bergquist has it set as we approach the 4-minute mark. 4 minutes left here in the second. 1-0 Pioneer with the lead, trying to move to 3-1 on the season, whereas Stoney Creek trying to get to 2-3. That ball launched down the far touchline, and able to hold it in back there was Champagne. Launch it into the 18, played back now. There's a shot. Played down and grabbed by Bergquist. Bergquist comes out to the end of the 18. 3 minutes, 25 seconds left to go. Played back over by Moore. Trying to get to it. Knocked down, controlled by Stoney Creek. As Champagne had it. Now Stark ends up down on the pitch, and that will be a free kick for Stoney Creek. 3 minutes left to go. Stoney Creek wasting no time. Stark gets it right back over to Champagne. Knocked back. Now here comes Seinfeld Chop. Gets it over to Moore. Moore rockets it ahead into the attacking third. Racing back to try and get to it was Carrillo. Couldn't quite make it there. That ball right over the blockades. Elsner has it, plays it back to his defense. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go now. Trying to loft it over to Duggan. Good job on the near wing by Cost to stop that rush. Carrillo on the near touchline. Carrillo. That in and knocked right out the near touchline again. 2 minutes, 5 seconds left to go. 1-0. Pioneer with the lead. Ball all the way back, and that will go out the end line. As that will be a goal kick as Morse has it. He volleys one all the way back towards the scoreboard just to get it out of the way. 1 minute, 37 seconds. Morse lifts it down the pitch. Strickler heads it over. Carrillo trying to move it back over to Seinfeld Chop. Now Porsche with it. And launched the other direction by Stoney Creek. They play it ahead to Stark. Stark up the center of the pitch. Stark trying to get it over to Duggan. Racing over. Koss gets it over to Bergquist. Bergquist moves it out. And over to Jacob. Played down. 1 minute, 4 seconds left to go as one of the Stoney Creek players took a ball to the head. That was Felton. And then Elster ended up down on the pitch. 53 seconds left to go. Free kick. And that'll be a big one right here. As it looks like, or are they just going to drop it? It looks like they might drop it between Stark and Strickler. That all the way into the far corner. Reifler looking to get it, but not before offsides. 40 seconds left to go. Pioneer take their time here. They're in no hurry. 35 seconds left to go. 1-0. Pioneer with the lead. Looking to hang on and move themselves to 3-1 on the season. Launched all the way down. 23 seconds left to go. That knocked the other direction, but out the far touchline. You can see that Champagne was a little frustrated with the way that came off of his foot. 8 seconds left to go. The ball inbounded. Played all the way back. 4 seconds left to go. The ball in the attacking third for Pioneer. And that will do it. That is the game. Pioneer wins by a score of 1-0, and they move on to they are 3-1 on the season. The next game for Pioneer soccer will be at Huron. That will be on the 29th at Huron. And then they'll be at Dexter as well. The next home game will be on the 5th of September. That will be versus Skyline, and we could use all you fantastic, amazing fans out here to cheer on the team and make sure they have a lot of energy coming from the crowd as they take on their crosstown rivals. Well, we thank you. For my camera person, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much. We're excited to be back for another year here at Pioneer High School. Thank you very much to the entire school and everyone involved. We wish Stoney Creek a great rest of the season. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend.